guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I'm going to be reacting to this Chinchilla guidebook. I got this back when I adopted Silver and Fluffy and I read the whole book. So I decided to react to some of it because I feel like some of the care is questionable. So I'm going to just kind of skim through each chapter and read the kind of more important bits I think are important to discuss and share my opinion on. So yeah. So a lot of this book is kind of the history of chinchillas and a bit about them. So those are just mainly facts. So I'm going to skip that bit and I'm going to get to the actual care part. So the first chapter I'm going to read is one chinchilla or two, which is a pretty common question. A lot of people ask, can you have a chinchilla alone? So I feel like this is pretty important. One chinchilla or two. Chinchillas are social animals and it is strongly recommended that you have two so that when you're not able to spend time with them, they will not be lonely. The most successful arrangement is to have a neutral male and a female. Neutering will mean that you will not have unexpected baby chinchillas, which you may not be able to find good homes for. Female chinchillas will usually live together with little friction, especially if they have known each other since they were young. Two males can also live together providing that there are no females around. So I agree with quite a few of the things here. Obviously, having two chinchillas, I feel like they could have mentioned that if your chinchilla has maybe been advised by a vet or has been with multiple other chinchillas and can't be with other chinchillas, I feel like they could have included that. There are some one-off cases, because if someone has maybe like, let's say, two chinchillas who are fighting and they think that they have to be together because chinchillas must be in pairs like 100% of the time, then the chinchillas might, get injured because they don't like each other, or one of the chinchillas just can't handle company or doesn't like it. So the next chapter is setting up a home, which I think is one of the most important chapters because obviously a lot of people when it comes to setting up chinchilla cages struggle, and that's kind of the main issue when it comes to chinchilla care and what they're going to need in the cage. So yeah. Setting up a home. Before you buy your chinchillas, you'll need to decide where you're going to keep them and then buy suitable housing. If chinchillas tolerate and appreciate cool accommodation, they cannot cope with damp or humid air. As a consequence, they can be kept as indoor pets in most places, including throughout all of the UK. And they usually tolerate cooler conditions better than hot ones. And the ideal temperature range is 16 to 18 degrees or 61 to 64 Fahrenheit. Accommodation should be well ventilated but not drafty, be in the shade and located away from sunny windows or radiators. Indeed, on sunny days, it is advisable to draw the curtain top line so the room stays cool. So honestly, I pretty much agree with everything here because it's really like emphasizing the importance of having a cool space for a chinchilla, because chinchillas are really sensitive to heat and they can have heat strokes if it's too hot for them. They also say the temperature range, which is pretty helpful because a lot of people say your chinchillas need to be in a cool environment. But what is cool? Because some people think that for them like 18 degrees might be cold, others might be hot. So I like that it says it in there as well. So continuing with the kind of setting up a cage topic, this page is about the actual cage and how to set up. So ensuring the accommodation is safe from other pets such as cats, dogs and snakes, and that the chinchillas have places to hide if they feel scared. There are a variety of chinchilla homes available in good pet stores. These should have height as well as floor space as chinchillas love to climb. Sometimes these are made of wire mesh and are quite bare, however from the farm design, and are not ideal. Walk-in indoor varies and can be made into a more suitable home for your pets with plenty of room to provide. Aerial pathways using branches from suitable types of trees that crisscross the cage, ramps, platforms to sit on, hay racks, commercial mineral gnawing blocks, cotton hammocks, boxes to sleep in. The floor space can be used for a litter tray and also as a place to put a sandbath, and tiling slides will provide a water spot. A breeze block will also provide a favourite lookout and resting place and can help keep nails in trim as they clamber over and teeth as they gnaw it. Some commercial chinchilla cages have a mesh floor with a tray underneath to catch the droppings and urine. This design originates from the farms and laboratories as it is easier for us humans, but it's really not pleasant for the chinchillas. Not only will they not like walking on mesh, but they can also injure their feet. As a consequence, they will spend little time on the ground and thus have less usable space. Solid floor is much better. So this page, again, pretty good because they've said keep them away from other pets like cats, dogs especially, since they are prey animals, so you don't want to put a predator near them. I also like how they mentioned don't have a wire mesh bottom to your cage. There is like one thing, it's not really that bad, but I want to just touch on. It says that there are a variety of chinchilla homes available in good pet stores, but again, I know that not everybody, some people might have access to better pet stores, but like for example in the UK, chinchilla cages, they're okay, but you can't really find that good chinchilla cages. So saying to get them from pet stores isn't the best thing. But like some people can argue that some chinchilla cages are like okay. I will also say one thing. It says that it kind of provides a list of things you can add in your chinchilla's cages. So it just says like branches, ramps, platforms, stuff like that. And one of the things is commercial mineral gnawing blocks, which I will say are not good, because mineral blocks for basically, I think they advertise them for like guinea pigs, chinchillas, rabbits, hamsters. They're not good. And also it says the floor space can be used for a litter tray and also a space to put the sand bath. And I wouldn't really recommend saying that, because your chinchilla sand bath should not be in the cage 24/7, because sand bath is basically a bath for your chinchillas. However, if it's in their cage 24/7, they're using it a lot, then the fur is going to get really dry, and you don't want that. So make sure give them a sand bath often, but not in their cage, because that is gonna dry out their fur. Another thing I will say is the picture on this page is an example of a chinchilla cage, and it does look pretty tiny. I think I have seen this cage in Pets at Home before, like it actually set up, and I think it's a rat cage, and I don't know too much about rat care, but I feel like it's something that'll be suitable for rats and not too much chinchillas. I would say like maybe baby chinchillas, but in general this cage is quite small, especially if you have like 2 chinchillas in here. The next page we have is again continuing with the setting up chinchilla home kind of chapter. Some people prefer to make their own chinchilla home if you wish to do so. Remember, it needs to be chinchilla proof and able to be cleaned easily. The floor of your chinchilla's home will need litter to soak up urine, although they will use a litter tray if it is located in the spot they have chosen to use. Appropriate bedding and litter materials are products made from shred paper, corn cobs, hardwood, or bedding / litter pellets made from straw or hardwood. Avoid products made from softwoods, as these contain substances that may make your chinchilla ill. Wood shavings and sawdust are not recommended, as they cause irritation to the eyes, nose, and lungs. And dusty bedding can even lead to pneumonia. I think I said it. It is worthwhile covering the bottom of the walls of the chinchilla's home with plexiglass, as this will help prevent litter being kicked out onto your floor by the chinchillas, thereby cutting down on the amount of cleaning you need to do. A water bottle should be attached to the cage side at chinchilla's nose height so they can easily reach it. A no-spill small dog water bowl can also be provided, but be careful it does not make the bedding damp. So I do have a few things I want to say about this. It does say the floor of your chinchilla's home will need litter to soak up urine. You can, of course, use fleece for your chinchillas. That's just, of course, there's nothing wrong about it, but I just think that maybe putting more information or like options for the reader can be more helpful. Another thing it does say is that it's worthwhile covering the bottom of the walls of the chinchilla's home with plexiglass, as this will help prevent litter being kicked. I mean, I do agree with this because it's kind of a useful hack. The only thing I will say, if you have a chinchilla that loves biting like plastic or tries to cover up the like edges of the plexiglass or cover it with fleece or something so they can't chew it, because if they do, obviously that's not going to be very good. Also, it does say that a no spill small dog water bottle can also be provided, and I will just say that probably not the best idea, because although yes, it's probably not going to spill onto the bedding and get it damp, chinchilla can get wet, and that's obviously, we don't want that to happen, because it's not going to be very good for their coat and fur. So this next page is chinchilla proofing your home. Many chinchilla owners proof a room where the chinchillas can exercise in safely. If you let your chinchillas go free in a room, watch out for the following hazards. Trailing electric wires, houseplants. These may be seen as a tasty snack, but are likely to be poisonous to your chinchilla. Cover wood furniture, for example, rat chair and table legs and cardboard. This will stop them from being chewed. Not only does this protect the furniture, but prevents your pet from accidentally eating wood that may be poisonous. So I think that pretty much everything that's been said is pretty valid about the wires, plants, it might be poisonous, wrapping furniture, because chinchillas love wood and love chewing your furniture. Purely I'm saying this from experience, so just put something there so they can't reach it, or even if you're putting your chinchilla's cage near wooden furniture or near a wall that they might be able to eat through the bars of the cage, again saying this from experience, don't do that. But this next bit is, where do I get my chinchillas from? Getting the chinchillas from a reputable pet store may be the easiest to your store. Just keep them in spacious accommodation so you'll have the opportunity to watch them and make your choice. Remember, they may not be too active when you visit in the daytime, as that is when they normally sleep. I will just say that I think in England, chinchillas aren't in Pets at Home anymore, and to be honest, that's really the only pet store that sells pets. Obviously there is Jolly's, but isn't as popular. I would recommend getting chinchillas from probably just adopting them. I think I got mine from Pets for Homes, and there's obviously other pet rehoming websites. So the next page is Take your chinchillas home. Ideally, the chinchillas you home should be set up already for them beforehand. When you first bring the chinchillas home, you want to stroke and play with them, but you must be patient for the first couple of days. Your chinchillas need peace and quiet to get used to the new home. You'll need to provide food and change the water so they will start getting used to you, without the stress of being handled. You can whistle gently or call their names before you put the food down. They will soon learn to come when they are called, as they associate your whistle with something pleasant. If you spend time getting to know your chinchillas, they will become more relaxed and want to interact with you. When they appear to be happy and settled, maybe approaching you rather than running away, then you can start making friends. To begin with, come close to the cage and talk gently to your chinchillas. Do not make any sudden movements which could alarm them. Offer treats so the chinchillas have to come up to you and get used to your hand. Pretty informative. Getting the cage set up beforehand, again, very good tip, because a lot of people bring the pet home and they haven't got the cage set up, and the chinchilla has to like sit there in the carrier or whatever, bringing them home in for longer because of that, and that could cause them stress. And also like how it says you probably will want to stroke them and play with them, but you must be patient. I like how it says don't make any sudden movements which could alarm them. They are prey animals, so they're pretty skittish. Then the next section we have is playtime. Chinchillas should be given the chance to behave naturally. They're gregarious and inquisitive creatures, and in the wild will explore, socialise and forage for food. All chinchillas should be given appropriate toys to play with and lots of hay, which they need to keep their teeth and digestive system in good order. Once you have made friends, there are many things that you and your chinchilla can do together. You may even wish to teach them tricks. This can be a great way of bonding with chinchilla and is lots of fun. You can even design and teach them chinchilla agility course. You can help your chinchillas live a full life by doing the following: giving them plenty of hay every day, giving them toys made of natural and treated wood, which will be played with and chewed. Do not give hard plastic toys. Make a treat box, which a wood box filled with hay. You can scatter in some fresh herbs. Fill a dog activity ball with your chinchillas' ration of pelleted food. Puzzle feeders designed for rabbits and toys for rats can provide a lot of fun for you and your chinchillas. And your chinchillas may enjoy a wheel as part of their playground. Ideally, a wheel each. Wheel should have solid backs and sides, but not an exposed spindle. This reduces the chances of feet or tails getting caught as the wheel spins, as it should fit to the side of the cage. And alternative is a flying saucer, freestanding version. Whichever you choose, make sure it's big enough so that your chinchillas can move freely. If a chinchilla has a habit of running the wheel, it may do long-term damage to its back, hips, and shoulders. So I agree with mostly things, like how they talked about chinchilla's backs curving. Don't get a wheel that is too small because that could cause long-term damage to their backs. And I like how it says that you can use puzzle feeders that are designed for like rabbits and stuff. It says don't give hard plastic toys, they can make your chinchillas ill. One thing I will say is, especially because it has a sand bath in the picture here, and it doesn't mention anything about sand baths, which I'm pretty surprised about, because like I feel like one of the main things I do when I take my chinchillas out for playtime is I'm like, alright, they're gonna have a sand bath. I give my chinchillas a sand bath about every other day or every 2 days, so not every single playtime, but again, I feel like they should have included a sand bath. Then the next we have is food. Or balanced diet will keep your chinchillas healthy and will help to ensure a long life. The chinchilla's digestive system is designed for a high fiber, low fat, low sugar, and low protein diet. Food that is too rich or even slightly moldy can cause serious stomach upsets, diarrhea, and even death. In the wild, chinchillas eat grasses and plants. It is essential that chinchillas eat a lot of grass-based food, namely hay, every day. This stops their teeth growing too long and ensures their gut remains healthy. If not, they can quickly suffer from gut stasis, where the gut no longer works properly and die. Lack of hay also leads to serious and painful dental problems. Both teeth and digestive problems are common in chinchillas. They are cause of expensive pet bills and sadly often a shortened life. I agree with everything here, and it says obviously about a lot of hay, and hay is a really important part of a chinchilla's diet. It's probably about 80% of a chinchilla's diet, so they need a lot of hay. So this bit is just how much food chinchillas are raisers eating throughout the time. They are awake, hay should always be available for them to nibble. Vegetables and a ratio of commercial diet can be given once a day or split over 2 feeding times. As a rough guide, 80% of your chinchilla's diet should be hay, 10% fresh vegetables, and 10% pellet or muesli type chinchilla food. Again, love how they emphasize hay because it's really important, and a lot of people don't feed their chinchillas enough hay. And down here it also says 80% of your chinchilla's diet should be hay, 10% fresh vegetables. But to be honest, fresh vegetables aren't mandatory. Like, they can survive without fresh vegetables, even if you give them like a bit of herbs every now and then. And then it says 10% pellet or muesli type chinchilla food. Also, for anyone wondering, I give my chinchillas the science selective pellet food. Just make sure that the pellets are plain pellets, no added things. I know hamsters need a very varied diet, but chinchillas just need a really plain one. This bit is just daily tasks, so I'm going to kind of skim through the paragraphs. I'm not going to read every single thing. Daily task: removal uneaten food and wash the bowls. If you frequently find uneaten food in the bowls, it may mean you're feeding too much, so give them less next time, but do check that your chinchilla is eating and is not well. Refill the water bottle with fresh water. Refill the hay rack with fresh hay. Remove wet bedding and droppings. Check as you do that the droppings look healthy. Check your chinchilla's rear and to ensure it is clean. And chinchillas do not need to be groomed. Indeed, brushing can damage their fur. However, they do need a sand bath at least twice a week, but more frequently can lead to eye problems and an over-dry coat. The bath is in dry sand, not water. In the high mountains where they naturally clean their fur by rolling around in fire and sand. There's more, but I'm not going to read all of it because it kind of just goes on talking about sand baths. The only thing I'm going to say is when the bit where they say chinchillas do not need to be groomed, it can damage their fur, but however, they do need a sand bath at least twice a week. I'm kind of confused, because I mean, I'm not, but I feel like as a reader you might get confused because previous pages, they kind of said that you can have a sand bath in the cage, like basically at all times. And now they're saying at least twice a week, which could confuse people because is it in a cage? Where do I put the sand bath? So I feel like they could make that more clearer. So then these are the weekly tasks. Clean the cage thoroughly using an animal-friendly disinfectant. Remove all bedding, put some of it to one side and throw the rest away. Remove all litter from the litter tray. Clean the tray and replace with fresh litter. Clean the water bottle, put in new bedding and the bit of old bedding you keep to one side. This means your chinchillas will feel safe when you put them back in their home, as if it will have a familiar scent. Give each of your chinchillas an all-over health check. Check your chinchilla's teeth and run your fingers gently along the jawline to check for any bumps. Check your chinchilla's nails, check inside their ears to ensure that they're clean, and then sniff for any unusual or pungent odor, which could indicate infection or other problems. Do not try and clean the ears with a cotton bud. Dirty ears need treating by vet. Check the inside of your chinchilla's feet for any sores. Check the fur for any fur loss. Wear your chinchilla to check they're not losing it or gaining anyway. I will say that it says clean the cage thoroughly using an animal-friendly disinfectant, which, yes, do it once a week. But I think in the daily tasks it should have mentioned clean, like just sweep up the poops, because if you're gonna leave your chinchilla's poop in that cage for a week, it's gonna get pretty there's gonna be poop everywhere. Chinchillas poop approximately around 250 poops a day, and most people have 2 chinchillas in a cage, which means 500 poops in a cage a day. And they are pretty tiny, but over time it's going to start building up, and it's going to kind of start getting uncomfortable for the chinchillas because they have to walk around in the poop. And if you leave that for a week, that's going to be 3,500 poops. Isn't that very pleasant for a chinchilla? So I think that they should just add in the daily tasks to just sweep up a bit of the poop and then clean the cage thoroughly once a week. I basically agree with all these as well. Anyway, that is the book. It's not too bad because I've seen chinchilla books or pet care books that are worse than this, but I just think there is a bit of room for improvement. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!